Welcome to Altitude. Altitude is an educational podcast where we discuss education, life, and much more. Altitude is sponsored by Tarif College, a 4-year degree granting institution located on the island of Grand Bahama, one of the 700 islands of the Bahamas, situated only 110 miles off the coast of Florida. So all you Floridians and others looking to have a vacation from home while attaining a college education, come to Tarif College for all your collegiate needs. Call them today at 1242-352-8675. Again, that's 1242-352-8675. Or visit their website at tarifcolleges.org. Because at Tarif, they are preparing students today for tomorrow's opportunity. Good morning and welcome to Altitude. This morning in our studio, we have two very well-dressed gentlemen. We have with us the president of the association here for the professional management, Mr. Dominic Roach. And we have my good friend, Mr. Roosdale Garland. And of course, our CEO, Mr. Randall Cooper. I am Terrence Archer, founder of Tarif College, and the host of this show, along with Mr. Cooper, my co-host, and we are excited to interview these two men in our studio for the first time here on Altitude, because I believe the things that they're doing, my listening audience, will prove to be monumental, not only on the island of Grand Bahama, but in time throughout the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And I applaud these men for what they are doing. Their initiative is a great one. And I believe those who would align themselves with this association can only reap dividends to the highest order, I feel, because to train the mind of our people would be the strengthening of a nation. And we know that the strength of the nation, as they say, is not only the wealth of the nation, but it is the life of any nation, any society, has to do with the strengthening of one another through education, training, and higher learning. And I believe that this association is prepared to offer all of that. And so with that being said, I would like to open the floor now by asking Mr. Roach, who is the president of this association, to tell us a little bit about his vision and what it is that he is proposing to do through this association. So, Mr. Roach, we wait to hear from you, sir.
Well, good morning. Good morning, Mr. Archer. Good morning, Bahamas. My name is Mr. Dominic Roach. I serve as the president of the Bahamas Professional Management Association. Okay, before I start, just a slight correction. This is not my vision, but this is our vision. This is a vision that's going to impact the entire country, and one that we certainly have a lot of pride in. We took a lot of time, a lot of years to establish this. A lot of planning was done on our part, and it's a blessing to see our vision come to fruition.
Yes, yes.
So definitely a little bit about our association. The Bahamas Professional Management Association was birthed through a course that we took at COB, now UB, back in 2013, if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Garland.
Correct.
We took a management course, a certified management course. During that course, we learned valuable information. We enhanced our skills as managers and also as leaders. A lot of topics discussed, we could translate directly into our work environment. So we didn't want to stop there after we got our certifications. It was so impactful to us, we felt we had to impact the wider nation. Hence the need for the reason why we established the Bahamas Professional Management Association. This is skills training. This isn't just about coming into work and doing the 9 to 5. Persons that are on their jobs, persons that are entrepreneurs, or just persons that want to become better leaders can seek the skills that we intend to impart. Now, as for myself, I would say first and foremost that I am a big believer in God, and I believe in nation building, which is one of the reasons why I participated initially without question, because there are a lot of associations that are out there. There are a lot of associations that give back in their own way. But the crying call in our country right now is leadership for one and skills building. So we wanted to come in and say, hey, let's develop our people. Let's develop how they operate while they're working on their jobs, even as entrepreneurs. Let's develop their skills. Let's develop their human resources skills. Let's develop your interpersonal skills. How do you deal with problem solving? How do you deal with conflict? Mm-hmm. These are all things that happens in the daily environment, in the workplace. And these were all things that we were exposed to. So we were not comfortable just getting our certifications and going back into our jobs. Right? We wanted to take this and impart it. So what was the best way to do it? Hey, let's establish an association and let's bring everybody else along this journey with us.
Yes.
Right? Because you're never too old to learn and you're never too old to better yourself and to make a difference.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
So hence the reason why this association was birthed.
Okay.
It was a need. We always talk about customer service being a need in this country. And that's one of the things we address. Because we have a way of looking at things from a local perspective. But until you realize what your role entails on your job or even as a business person, how that impacts the community and the wider country, you're not going to be inclined to enhance yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You understand? So we wanted to bring this. We couldn't keep it to ourselves. So Mr. Garland, along with myself, Mrs. Prescola Barbs, Mrs. Pamela Stewart Bullitt, and a few others.
Shanisa,
yeah, we all came together. We started this in 2015. It took us some time, but we're here now.
Yes.
We got our license. We got approved in 2019, our license in 2020. So we're so thankful and appreciative of the Bahamas government for definitely granting us this opportunity to enhance the lives of Bahamians.
Yes.
So we are so thankful for that, and we cannot stress enough how thankful we are.
Yes.
That have been given this opportunity. So we've recently just launched earlier this year, and our campaign, we want to spread awareness as to what we do, how you can better yourself, how you can take your knowledge and better your establishment, even as a business person, a small business owner, because the truth is, as a small business owner, where are you going to get that training?
Yes. But Mr. Roach, I believe small and big businesses need that training.
Especially big businesses. Especially big businesses and especially our government business.
Yes.
Our government agencies, per se.
Speaking about that, I was looking at the information, your letter. There was some of your vision in there, and one of the points that really stuck out to me was just that, how you would look to work together with governmental institutions or organizations along with private bodies. How do you see your association plugging into the governmental establishments and even that of private corporate establishments to do what you do to enhance what they do?
Mm-hmm. Well, first of all, I'll start with the government agencies. We pretty much see ourselves as a government agency as well. However, we all know within government, customer service, it's definitely a dire need, something that's essential. So what we intend to do is to pretty much liaise and act as a conduit between the employees themselves and the Bahamas government. And we intend to offer training and seminars, not just in customer service skills, but also in leadership. And that's what we need. That's what we definitely need as it relates to all agencies, private sector, as well as government agencies. So we have developed a training platform. We've developed a training platform, that's going to take you from ground level to executive level in terms of the way you operate.
Okay.
On the job.
Okay.
All right, so we first want to assess your skills, see where you're at. Okay, and that's going to require a lot of different questionnaires, because we can't work with you or give you any training until we know where exactly you're at.
Yes.
All right, until where you're at. So that's where we start off with. We're going to do an assessment with you, and once we've established where you're at, then we'll commence with a point plan to get you going. All right, and there are some things that persons who have been coming into the organization, they themselves see as a need for themselves. So they indicate that to us.
So would that be a part of what you were mentioning here about becoming a recruiting source for the government then, by assessing persons and understanding where they are, training them, and then sending them, I guess, to look at various governmental agencies to see how they can seek employment? Or would you develop a kind of relationship with government where you can pretty much send persons on jobs that the government will automatically recognize, approve, and accept these persons that would have been trained through your association for futuristic employees?
That's the goal. I wouldn't say we want to be a recruiting agency for the government. However, we would like to be recognized and respected by the government by knowing that this particular association has birthed a talent pool of skilled professional Bahamians.
Yes.
By which you can call upon. Okay. So by no means do we want to say we are the main source by which you can tap into that talent.
But you see, we don't have anything like this so far in my mind, Mr. Roach. Well, you're here, so you're here. No. but this is visionary, and timeless in my mind, because, like I said, this is the first really of its kind.
It is.
And so this is historic, to me. And I can see the value of this association. And I'm hoping that others throughout the country would be able to take advantage of the many training and seminars and workshops that you're proposing to come into being. Right. Will take advantage of it. I know for a certainty, we have a large student pool that can benefit from this kind of a workshop. We have been approached by the mother company that offers this program to various colleges to do this, as I mentioned to Mr. Garland, but I don't see the need to do that because you're here.
Thank you.
And you already have that connection and the association. And so that is the reason why we disengage. Of course, we didn't say to them that we're going to disengage, because we want to give you all an opportunity to spring root. Of course. And to develop and form a partnership with your association, because we have the student body, you have now the pool of managers in place, and it's strengthening Bahamian to help each other grow together. And that is what makes me so proud, is that two of my brothers and sisters and other members that are part of your organization took the bold initiative to do something that is unique, something that can really be powerful for Bahamians. And so we applaud you from Tarif College to continue to grow from strength to strength. And we want to become one of your charter members so that we can continue to work together and send our students to your forum to join your workshops, your seminars, and your training, so that they too become professional management and getting the certification under your charter. We're looking forward to that.
We thank you so much for that. That's news. That's news that is so welcome. We appreciate the opportunity to partner with you guys. I'll say one thing to you, in terms of your students, the knowledge that they are going to receive. These are intangibles. These are not gifts that you give out and that they wear off after a while. You are improving you. And I think if we could focus on ourselves and being better, ultimately this country is going to be better.
Most definitely.
And what we learn, we impart onto our children.
Yes.
Okay, so,
yes.
Frederick Douglass has a saying, the late Frederick Douglass, it's easier to raise strong children than it is to repair broken men. Mm-hmm. Children, they don't do what we say, but they watch what they do what we do. Mm-hmm. So if we practice these things, if we practice management skills, if we impart those skills, then rightfully so, our future will be brighter.
Yes.
So we look forward to the opportunity to work with you guys. We look forward to the opportunity to partner with the Bahamas government and also with the private sector.
Yes.
Right. I'm going to have Mr. Garland speak to some of our alliances, and some of the support that we're going to be giving, to persons that would be interested in joining the Bahamas Professional Management Association.
Before we go to Mr. Garland, I have about 2 more questions I would like to ask you, or possibly 3, because you see, it stood out to me in the letter of introduction, and I just want you to explain 1 or 2 things to the listening audience that I think is very important for them to understand some of the tenets that your association stands on. And one of the things, I'm just going to dissect one of the things that you said here. When you said that we do not engage in collective bargaining on behalf of its members, of your members or others. And I wanted you to just elaborate on that, because you see, that is powerful. Mm-hmm. And I cannot let you go without expressing what you mean there. I can't let you go. So tell us, please, enlighten us.
Basically, collective bargaining. We are not a political organization. We are not a political organization because the strength of this country lies on the health and the wellness of our Bahamians. So we're not going to be a 5-year or so, I would say, an association who shines for 5 and dims for the next, so to speak. But that's not what we're all about. We feel that this here is so much bigger than ourselves.
Yes.
This is so much bigger than any organization, whether it be political or not. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So we're not going to engage in those sorts of things. And if approached, that's something that we are shying away from, definitely. So we don't want anyone to feel that this particular organization is a political one. We are straight across the board.
Yes.
And we want to speak to certain issues within the business community that affects the business community, the wider business community at that. Yeah. So in no way can we engage in collective bargaining.
Yes. Now, people, you heard it here first from Mr. Roach himself.
Definitely.
This organization is not a political association, but it's here to give all Bahamians equal opportunities. With that being said, there's another thing I have to ask. And I'm sure other entrepreneurs out there like Tariv would be interested in knowing how does this association envision doing this, as to this next question, to attract investments to the Bahamas. You see, because when you're attracting investments, that's going to be spread all across the board, because that money is going to be shared throughout every sector thereabout in the country, which would benefit everybody. And so how do you envision carrying out this great task?
Okay, well, as you know, tourism may be our source of revenue, our main source of revenue. However, there's a shift, there's a trend going on right now, especially in the digital community. And investors are looking, when they do look at certain places to invest in, they want to look at the talent pool. Mm-hmm. Not just the persons that can get on the ground and do the manual labor, but they want to know what is the skill level of these individuals. If I'm going to invest my money into your country, what type of talent pool am I tapping into? So the more skilled Bahamians that we have, the more managers we have, the less foreign labor component that's going to come into our country.
Okay.
So having a skilled, professional labor force makes it a lot more easier for an investor to put money into the ground.
Okay. And does this association, Mr. Roach, have any mechanism in place to garner all of the potential labor force that this association would help to develop so that would-be investors can find this information readily available?
Definitely. One of the things that I was alluding into earlier, we've partnered with a global organization. That's the National Management Association. They have about 10,000 members worldwide. They are spread out all across the world. And they are in literally every sector and every industry. So when you talk about tapping into a support base, this is the support base that the Bahamas Professional Management Association has embedded themselves into. And when I say embedded themselves into, we are a subcharter of the National Management Association. So every week we receive information. Every week we get tools. Every week we get tapped into persons that want to impart their knowledge into us. And I'm talking healthcare. I'm talking aerospace. I'm talking digital engineering. I'm talking business, finance. What else?
Telecommunications.
Everything. Oil and gas. So as an investor, knowing that these particular Bahamians have this talent pool, knowing that the support base is there, knowing that there's now a track record of persons with this support base, it makes it so much easier to have the conversation now about putting your money in the ground. On the ground here. So it's no longer about investing in sun, sand, and sea. You are investing in people, and people are the driving force behind any organization.
Yes.
Yeah, so definitely, yeah.
Okay. Well, you made me feel good. You answered my questions, and I'm satisfied with the answer and the mindset behind the spirit of what is written here. Because people, I tell you, if and when, and no longer if, because it is here, but as they continue to grow from this embryonic stage, we can see a beautiful beginning of this organization turning into a powerful tool that Bahamians can be benefited by. And so, speaking from a Tarif angle, we can see all of our business students tapping into this program, enhancing their business skills, but not just the business students. Any one of our students can take advantage of what you're offering here, because all of it has to do with self-development. And I like what you said here about learning best practices from working together from each other. So it tells me then, it's like what we say in Sanuka's Jiu-Jitsu, each one teach one. And so that tells me that you're learning from one another, you're taking the strengths and you're capitalizing on those strengths that you're getting from each person out of the workshop, and you're seeing how you can infuse them now all together to benefit the masses. And I think that is ingenious.
That was something that we didn't even have to think about. It came to us basically through our discussions in our courses at UB, best business practices. And I think every individual around the table would agree with me when I said that's something that every organization has to improve upon. That's continuously. It doesn't matter how high your standards are as an organization. Best practices is something that we always have to work on. It may be lacking in certain industries, certain agencies. However, best practices is something that we always strive to improve. So on the heels of our classes, our training, our meetings, we speak about our personal experiences on the job. And we learn from each other. And we teach ourselves, okay, was that the best way to deal with it? Is this in line with standard operating procedures? Is this the way things should be done? So we do feed and bounce information off each other, but in the right way. Okay, and it's about self-improvement, but we improve each other. That's what the glory of this, I would say, is. You take your personal experiences. We're not just looking at a book and saying, hey, this is the playbook. No. We're looking at our real life situations, because never goes according to what we see in the book. Never. There's always variables on the job. Things always happen. So we go into our personal playbook and say, hey, here's what we experienced. This is something that I went through. I did it this way, but what do you guys think?
Yeah.
You understand? And there's a saying, 2 minds are better than one.
Yes.
We have a few minds at the table.
Yes.
So after we would have discussed it and concluded, the best way forward is something that we all take.
Yes.
We walk away from the table with, and that's how we develop. Mm-hmm. That's how we grow each other. And it costs you nothing to teach somebody something.
Yes. Well, I tell you, it costs you time. But that's good time well spent, but nonetheless, and you hope that when you are giving off your gems, that these people are receiving it as a treasure and try to work it so that they can reap the dividends from that. And so, Mr. Garland, you've been very quiet over there, and so we want to wake you up a little bit. Can you tell us a little bit about you and your involvement with this association?
I'd like to say we appreciate Reed College for inviting us here this morning on this podcast with Altitude and Morning Bahamas. A little bit about myself. I saw the need to develop myself in personal management and to become the best I can. And so through the UB course, we were able to go through a 9-month period, which we did in record time, because normally the course is like 11, 15 months.
Wow. And
so we did that, and all of us collectively graduated and passed. And the good thing about the ICPM is that that's an international certification. And so if you want to see anyone who says they're CM, you can go on the website, and once you type it in, their names are listed there.
Yes.
And the years that they actually graduated or have retained their certification.
Yes.
And so with developing this mindset and being able to go further, the ICPM course gave us that incentive. It gave us that initiative. It gave us all the information that we need in order to be able to develop and to practice good business practices. And so we wanted to go further with this. And so as Ms. Roach was saying, this is one of the plateaus that we want to initiate, communicate, and also be able to address inside our community. And so as Vice President, assisting Mr. Roach, we share the same endeavors, the same vision, the same mindset, and also true to the mission. That's to help develop persons and educate them in real time to what's going on. And that's something that we've done. Looking at the culture that we have in the Bahamas, we're looking to change that mindset. So therefore, when we're looking at conducting business from an administrator, from an industrial perspective, from a commercial perspective, we're doing it based on things that are relevant, things that are current, things that we need to invest in. So therefore, we'll be able to get the good results as a people, as a nation, as a community, because it speaks well of who and what you are based on the information that you are disseminating to individuals. And so with that, we are seeing the need to get into these different branches that exist today. And so by doing that and introducing ourselves and also the resources that are available to them, they can see the need to be able to become part of something that's outstanding, something that's different, something that they can see themselves being a part of, because it'll help them to develop themselves to a point, whereas it not only speaks well of the quote-unquote certifications, but people can see it naturally inside the individual themselves. And so let's take, for example, if somebody's looking at core skill training, something regarding administrative assistant, and how we can be able to become the best persons we are in those sectors. This is where the materials that we have through the NMA that helps us to be able to direct persons to this pool of knowledge, this pool of information that helps them now to see, how can I develop? What skill set am I lacking? What am I doing wrong inside my workplace that I need now to be able to improve, be able to change my mindset, my thinking, my conversation, my communication, my dialogue with individuals. And so with this, they become the best professional persons that are there. Because anybody can attain a degree, but are you professional in what you're doing? Are you recognized as someone who's not only weighing the title, but exercising and demonstrating what a business mindset is all about?
Okay.
And so with that, we are seeing the need now to not only reach out to the business sector, but as part of my plateau, is also to get into the community, get into the schools. And in fact, we could even, through the anime, be able to ask young persons as young as 16 to be able to join the organization. So we're not just looking at adults and persons there, but also to young people, target them, because they too want to be able to become part of a society, part of an initiative that is actually demonstrating what quality work professionalism is all about.
Yes.
And so with that, we're seeing the need to go to that point. And by doing so, we see that it'll be something that speaks well. So when people hear about Bahamas Professional Organization, Bahamas Management Association, they will say, wow, those persons, they have the key. Those persons there, I've been able to go into and tap into something that they have, and I can tell you, it's something I've never experienced, something I've never read about. And I've seen that how it can benefit, and how it could help me, and how it could even be able to help others to be able to come a part of this, because it is something that's universal. And that's the thing about it.
Yes, but learning is universal. And like we always say here on Altitude, we want people to understand that learning or education is never boring. Never. And that is a message that we always carry throughout our shows, our podcasts. But what I wanted to also ask both of you men, can you tell the audience then that might be interested in becoming a member of the Bpma, how could one become a member of the Bpma?
Certainly. First of all, we will send persons, for example, CMs, as Mr. Roach mentioned, is persons that we are a part of. And so we are sending letters to the CMs and individuals who meet the business criteria, who want to develop themselves. And so initiate by first sending a letter. They'd respond back in kind. And then upon reviewing, we will send them the applications and also what is required for them to become part of it, along with a sit down, so we'll be able to vet them to see if they have the skills, and also they see the need of developing themselves to the point where they want to become part of this association. Mm-hmm. And so once with the favorable feedback, they are able now to tap into these resources that we have. And we found that the conversation regarding the interview has been something so phenomenal that when they ask, what are you guys about? What do you do? Where do you plan to go from here? What is your vision? What is your mission? And they say, man, this is something I can identify with, and for such a long time. We've seen the need that this is something that we need to do, especially here. And so by doing that, once they're vetted and they become part of the organization, the association, they in turn will be able to have web courses. They'll be able to have all of this information that they so want and value. And so by means of this, they are actually vetted in, and they become part of the association and be able to use their personal experience also to help and share.
Now, I want to go back just a little further to my initial question, because my initial question goes back a little further as it relates to persons who might not have the background that you allude to. Mm-hmm. Someone, I guess, we can term for this moment here for the benefit of the description. Someone who have no background, someone who's raw, mm-hmm. Someone that heard about it. You mentioned young kids. A young kid coming in would not have the business experience or exposure that one would need to become a part of the Bpma, as you alluded to. What do you have in place for people that are raw, diamond in the rough, to help them come up to where you would like for them to be?
Great question. Inside the Bpma, there's something that we call speech competition that young people can engage and become a part of that helps them to develop their communication skills, their professional skills. And it's something that is done universally inside the United States, and everybody who is a part of it can become a part of the speech competition. And so that is an avenue for them to get a foot on the ground and also an opportunity for them to see where they can go further in developing their skills, because as young people, they're young entrepreneurs. And eventually, they're going to see the need to develop themselves inside whatever sector business that they want to engage in. And so with that, becoming part of the NMA, they're going to be tools that's going to be relevant for them. So therefore, when they get to that plateau, they'll also be able to sit the certification courses, become a part of it. And with that CM certification, they will also be able to have themselves vetted as being part of the Bahamas Professional Manager Association. So there's steps to that goal.
Well, you see, Mr. Cooper, I am, in listening to the conversation, I see a big window there where Tarif can be the foundational training instrument to get where the Bpma wants to take them from that level onward. Because I think it's very important to mention there's a P in there, which is professional. You see, and so I could understand the importance of that word now, professional managers. You see, and for them to get to that professional level, they have to come there with some kind of a foundation to build upon, is what I'm seeing from what you'll be discussing here. And so for them to do justice to the full scope of what you're doing, professional managers, they have to come to you with some kind of foundation, is what I'm getting. Correct me if I am wrong on that.
Well, I'll interject. Okay, as I would have alluded to earlier, and I spoke about the potential partnership actually between us. We do have core basic training for persons that, like you say, are raw. All right, persons that may have never worked in a professional environment before. We have core training skills, modules that persons can take.
Okay.
Right? However, a partnership with Tarif can do nothing but help them blossom even further.
Yes.
All right, so we do have core training, and I wanted to chime in while Mr. Garland was speaking. And if a person wants to connect with us, they can reach out to us as empowerment.bpma@gmail.com. We also have a website, www.thebpma.com.
Is there a phone contact?
There is a phone contact, 814-4184. 814-4184. That is the phone contact. If you want to speak to someone personally,
Yes.
you can contact that. Any questions you may have, you can find us on Facebook. You can also find us on LinkedIn.
Okay.
Bahamas Professional Management Association.
Yes. And can they reach out to you all at any time via phone or via Facebook or any of those other social medias?
Anytime between the hours of 9 to 5.
So people, you hear it. Don't call after 5. Anytime between 9 and 5.
Remember, we are a professional association. We are a professional association, so we do have certain standards and certain protocols that we follow within our association. So,
Yes.
one of which is, work will be work, and the home life, we respect your home life.
Yes, that was very important to put that in there, because we find that people will call at all hours.
Yes.
And so it's very important, if we're looking at being professional, we have to act like professionals. And so we want to pay heed to that and make the most of this opportunity. This opportunity has come into existence and has been birthed by the Bpma for our benefits. And so I would encourage all of you to take advantage of the information, the website, the social media information, and most of all, the phone number. Give them a call. Between 9 and 5, people. Let's make the most of it, and let's see how we can benefit ourselves to become true professionals here in the Bahamas. Any last word from you gentlemen that you would like to share with the listening audience? Floor is yours.
Well, definitely. Once again, I want to thank you, Mr. Archer, Mr. Cooper, for inviting us in today and sharing, our vision for the Bahamas Professional Management Association. And before I leave, I just want to say to the Bahamian public, we always talk about things that we can do, what is needed in our country, but there's never really any action behind the talk. We have the conversations, which is fine. We understand the need. We accept that the challenge, and we stepped up to the plate. So the platform is now here for us to go beyond the conversations, and take it into action.
Into action, yes.
Into action.
Indeed.
And I think that's very, very important, and we're here to serve. That's the main ingredient. We're not looking for anything in return from anyone. The only thing we want to see is our Bahamian people become better, become professionals, become leaders. We always hear, we don't have enough leaders. We don't have enough leaders. Well, you know what? There is now a platform here for you to develop yourself. So let's go beyond the talk and let's get into action.
Yes, indeed. You sound like Mr. Cooper preaching on a Sunday.
I may have listened to one or two of those.
But I can tell you, Mr. Roach, this is exciting news. When Mr. Garland sat down and told me what he is a part of, as I'm getting goosebumps and about it now, I got goosebumps about it then. I was so excited about this because it's needed. And I'm telling you, once this vehicle is driven correctly, the kind of benefit that it can do for Bahamians, and not just Bahamians, anybody who want to come and take a part of what is here in the Bahamas could come and benefit themselves by it. But the fact that it is here, it gives hope.
Yes, sir.
To us as entrepreneurs. It gives hope to us as common individuals, because we have a mechanism now that's here to help us to grow mentally, to develop ourselves, and to be a valuable or an invaluable contributor as a part of our nation building or nation and becoming a nation builder. And we want to thank you, gentlemen, for taking the mantle, and ladies. That's
Definitely.
a part of this group. I don't want the Bible says that ladies are mighty yummy. They hit harder than men. So I want to also show them the respect as well, because their time and energy is also invaluable. And we want this message to get back to them, that we appreciate the fact that they were brave enough and alert, vigilant enough to be a part of such a powerful movement in forming this association.
Amen. Amen. And you mentioned something. You said having persons around that can drive that vehicle. Those women, they provided so much structure. That's something that the men actually did not see initially. And I think it's from being a mother, when you have that mother's desire to see your child do better. That's what we got. And the persons that have taken a liking or an interest in this, it's a godsend, because those persons are so respected. Those persons are so aligned, with the pulse of the business community as to what is needed, and to, I would say, what am I looking for right now? To align themselves and attach themselves to the Bpma to say, hey, I am going to now impart what I know, my experience, my knowledge into everybody else. It's a blessing. It's a total blessing to have that right now. And with those ladies coming on board and the type of caliber, the talent that we have attracted so far, like you said, it was something that persons were actually waiting for to come along, because every conversation, every interview that we've had, the sentiment was the same. This is needed.
Yes.
We can use this. The country deserves this. Our people deserve this. I'm in. Yes. What can I do? So it's not just about you developing you. It's about you developing everybody.
Yes.
So definitely we are so excited and we're so happy, to be here today and to partner with Tarif. I thank you once again.
Yes, well, we're just waiting to sign the papers, okay?
Yes, sir.
But I want to say, before Mr. Garland take his last word, is that what I see happening through the BPMA is that the international community now would look at the Bahamas as a serious contender when it comes to trained professional individuals that they can now employ, not just locally, but taking some of them globally to hold down some of these high top managerial positions. Because as Mr. Garland mentioned, this is an international certification that is recognized globally.
Definitely.
Yes, it is. And also, I would like to say that we are a non-profitable organization, which means that our talents and the times we are offering to persons to give them to collective training is free. And so I realized that shows you how deep our endeavor, our will is.
And can you say that part again? Because I'm coming.
Yeah, the resources they receive is valuable. They cannot even pay for the information that is there, so it's like free content. And so we're helping them to develop themselves to the best way possible. In fact, one of our motto is, let's engage collectively.
That's right.
To practice better business practices. And so we stand by that. When we meet and we talk and we engage with people collectively, we leave titles to the door, as one of our puzzle pieces says.
Yes.
We see the need to be able to engage and to share ideas and to be able to develop one another to the best of our standards, because we come from different sectors. Mm-hmm. And so therefore, when we engage collectively, we're able to spread that information, that knowledge. And so this is something that we valuably offer the persons who want to go to the next level. Yes. And so we do thank Tarif and Mr. Cooper himself for having us here this morning, so we'll be able to put it out there so people will be able to see how they can best get to that platform.
Yes. Thank you once again, Ms. Cooper.
What I'd just like to add, it was, gentlemen, our pleasure to have you here today.
Thank you.
As a Bahamian, this makes me proud. It's a first. Often we hear it say, or I've heard it said, if it's Bahamian, it can't be good. But, and that's a stigma that has unfortunately been attached to a lot of stuff we try and do. Mm-hmm. But seeing this, hearing the vision, it's at a different level. It's something that can better the country. It is something that the country needs, and it's Bahamian. And so as a Bahamian, that makes me proud. As someone attached to a tertiary institution responsible for training Bahamians to deploy into various sectors, again, I'm extremely proud, because this is at a caliber that we would look outside for. Mm-hmm. And we would be able to now get it right here. As a part of lecturing, we provide obviously the lecturing side of it. But even in our instruction, when we try and engage people, teaching them one thing, and coming out of or from that environment as an accountant, I can tell you, teaching them one thing from the books change. That's like right. You said, Mr. Roach, when you get into the environment,
yes,
and real life hits, it's a different thing. Mm-hmm. And so to be able to offer that to students, a venue where they can go and get, these are the best practices, these are the most up-to-date practices. Mm-hmm. I understand that 100% and the value of that as somebody responsible for training accountants. I also understand as a business person, because when you hire somebody or you engage management, you want to make sure that whatever they're bringing to the table is best practices and the most conducive for the environment that they're in.
Agreed.
Because the textbook can say, well, this is what it is. Mm-hmm. But when you get into the real environment, you find that you have to be adaptive or flexible to move with the times. And the pandemic is a perfect example. It has taught us a lot of stuff that were not in the textbooks, right? You have to be able to bend and flex. And so I'm extremely proud to witness this today, to know that because I know both of you gentlemen, right? I know the caliber of what Mr. Roach, I know you've been doing a lot of posts on your Facebook thing.
Yes.
Those little nuggets that you kind of put out there, right? One or two people just paying attention. They just want you to know that. So keep doing it.
Yes, sir. But thank you.
Right. But this makes me extremely proud as a Bahamian, like I said, as a business person, from the seat that I sit in, and we look forward to what this organization is going to bring to the Bahamian community, because we know that if we can empower ourselves and better ourselves, we have a better Bahamas, and this is home. This is where we live, and we ain't going nowhere. At least I ain't going nowhere.
No,
right? So we're trying to make a better Bahamas, and that's going to take partnership at all levels. And so this is a welcome, and I would encourage all of anybody in the audience out there, take advantage of this. This is us, and this makes me proud to be Bahamian.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
definitely. And again, congratulations on the birth of your association, and we look forward to seeing the fruitage of your labor. Okay, congratulations.
Yes, sir. Thank you once
And
again.
continue the good work. And please tell the female counterpart that we miss having them here to hear their voices, which means we have to have them come down next time.
Definitely.
So that we can hear and get their input as to their involvement in the Bpma. And we're looking forward to that.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much. Women are the pillar of our community.
Yes, they are.
So we need them, and having that wisdom from those ladies, you can't put a price tag on it.
No, definitely not.
So definitely.
Yes. So can you please share again the website and the phone number for the listening audience one last time?
Certainly. The website is www.thebpma.com, and you can email us at empowerment.bpma@gmail.com. You can also contact us via Facebook at the Bahamas Professional Management Association, also on LinkedIn at the Bahamas Management Professional Association, and the 9-to-5 number to call is 814-4184. That's 814-4184.
There you have it. And we, again, with that, say thank you very much for tuning in. Until next time, be safe. And remember, education is never boring.
Never.
Lauren, wait up, gal.
Hey, what you saying?
Have you heard?
Heard what?
The Reeve College is taking registration for new students, and they filling up fast. And you say you want to learn nursing,
Yeah, they tell you that.
and they help you pass the consul exam to become an RN. I want that banking and finance for me, because you know I like my money. So I need to put my finance in the bank.
I know that's right.
Registration now in progress at Reeve College, located at the Kipling Building, Block A. Reeve College is the place to be. Call or visit our website at reevecolleges.org for more information. And tell them Mr. T sent ya. Call us at 352-2688, 352-2688. At Reeve, we are preparing you today for tomorrow's opportunities. You've been listening to Altitude, where we discuss important issues of today. We thank you so very much for your time and your efforts, and we do look forward to your comments and your observations. Until next time, we thank you for tuning in.